Hello, my name is Chris Hammond. I'm the Director of Training here with DotNetNuke Corporation. In this brief video, we're going to talk to you about overriding the CSS or cascading style sheets within DotNetNuke utilizing the Portal.CSS file. Now, before we actually go in and make changes to existing CSS from an overriding perspective, let's talk about Portal.CSS and where it exists. So Portal.CSS is typically the last CSS file that gets loaded on a DotNetNuke website. And it will be loaded on every page of a particular DotNetNuke website. So it's the last thing loaded, and within style sheets, because of their cascading nature, the last thing loaded has the most precedence. It has a potential to override everything previously loaded. So what we're going to do is take a look at what's already in Portal.CSS. And we're going to show you how you can edit Portal.CSS. And then we'll go through and take a look at the home page of a DotNetNuke website and find something that we want to override. And then we'll make that change within Firefox using a tool called Firebug, which will allow us to kind of preview our change. And then we'll make it for all visitors to the website by editing Portal.CSS again. So if we switch over to a DotNetNuke website, here we have DotNetNuke running. It's version 5.6.1. Now we've made a few changes here, and I have it open in Firefox at the moment. But rather than making the changes in Firefox, I'm going to go over here to Internet Explorer, where I'm currently logged in. Now I'm logged in as the host account, but you can also make the changes that we're going to be making as an administrator. Now, on the home page, by default, you're going to have a bunch of content that's pre-populated. Now, in a previous video, I've already moved and removed and changed some of this content, but we still have this Getting Started section and the sponsors images down below. All of that content is being styled by the Portal.CSS file currently. So we want to go through and remove those styles that are currently in Portal.CSS because they are currently only applicable to the home page. So Portal.CSS is a file that exists in your Portal's root folder. You can get to it by going to the admin site settings page. And if you go down to the very bottom of the site settings page, you're going to find a style sheet editor. Now, you can also get to the file by going to your file system if you'd like to make the changes there, but we'll just make our changes in the browser. So within the style sheet editor, we get all of the information that's provided by that default Portal.CSS file. Now we can come in here, and I'm going to select all of the contents after the import line. I'm pressing Control and Shift and pressing End. That will select all of those custom styles that are being used on the home page currently. So if I press on Delete on my keyboard and then click on Save Style Sheet, that's going to save the Portal.CSS file. If I now navigate back to the home page, and I may have to do a refresh due to caching within my browser, but if I navigate back to the home page, we're going to see that Getting Started section now changed. So it still has all the same content, but the look and feel is different. And that's because we're no longer using that style sheet. If we go ahead and scroll down, we'll find that the sponsors images have also changed. The padding and positioning has gone away due to the style sheet that was being applied previously. So now we're going to go ahead and switch over here to Firefox, and I'm going to go ahead and reload the page in Firefox as well, so we'll see those changes. And now let's go ahead and see how we can change something within our .NETNuke skin by using the Portal.CSS file. So this is the default skin for .NETNuke. Now what we're going to do within Firefox is we're going to use a tool called Firebug. And in a previous video, we showed you how to install and how to utilize Firebug. But what we're going to do is go ahead and load Firebug up here. And I'm going to use the Inspect tool. Now let's say I wanted to change something within our navigation. So within the Inspect tool, I can go in and select items. And if I click on that item, so in our case, I want to change the way the home or the selected item shows up in our navigation. If I select that, the HTML shows up here. And it shows me the styles that are being applied to that particular graphic or that particular navigation item. Well, there's a number of different classes that are being applied here. There's a select class, a BC, MI, MI0, ID41, root, and first. Over on the right side of the page, we get a section here that says menu.css. So we can see that the last class being applied there is this main menu.sel and then main menu.bc. And that class is applying a background image as well as some color. Now what we can do within Firebug here is we can come in and change the font color. So let's say instead of making the font white, we want to make the font black. I can come in here and type in black, which you can shorten to 3 zeros or type it out fully at 6 zeros. That's the hexadecimal value for black. And you'll notice in our navigation, the home link is now black. Now we could change that to something else. If I want to type in the word blue, I could type in blue here, and it goes to a blue color. Or maybe I want to type in cyan, and it goes to the cyan color, so it's a brighter blue. So within the Firebug, we can start to make these types of changes just from our browser's perspective and see what they look like. But if I then refresh the page again, that change goes away. Now, let's go ahead and assume that we want to make the text color black, but we want to do it permanently, not just within our browser. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the CSS, and I'm just going to highlight that CSS over here within the Firebug option. And I'm going to put that CSS into our Portal.CSS file. Now to do that, I'm just going to switch back over here to Internet Explorer because we're currently logged in over there. And I'm once again going to navigate to the Site Settings page and down to the Style Sheet Editor. Now within the Style Sheet Editor, I'm going to paste the information that we copied from Firebug. For now, I'm going to remove the background section because I don't want to change the background itself. All I want to do is change the color. So we're defining a new color here that applies to the main menu select and main menu BC classes. So I can come in here and type in black or the hexadecimal value of that. Click on Save Style Sheet. That saves Portal.CSS. If we go back over to Firefox now, and I refresh Firefox, the page reloads, and you can see that the home link is now in black. And the CSS over on the right side shows us that that particular color is coming from Portal.CSS. A couple of lines down, we can see where it was defined as white, but that color is crossed out. And it was coming from menu.css line 34. But because of this, the precedence, or the cascading nature of style sheets, because Portal.CSS loads last, its styles override everything that's previously defined. So it's changing the color for our navigation item. So it's a very basic introduction to how you can utilize Portal.CSS to make changes to your site. There's obviously a lot more that you can do with that. We'll go into some more advanced options within future videos. In the meantime, I'd encourage you to check out our DotNetNuke training page. Under the Resources tab on DotNetNuke.com, there you'll find a variety of free videos, as well as information about our upcoming instructor-led training and our custom on-site and online training offerings. Again, this is Chris Hammond with DotNetNuke Corporation. Thanks for watching the video.